It's time for another WrestlePlanet news update, as a released WWE Star makes a shocking debut, an AEW main eventer has gone on hiatus, and there has been a robbery at the WWE ThunderDome. All that and more coming up in today's video, but first... Shortly following Powerhouse Hobbs' debut in AEW, he was aligned with then-champion Jon Moxley. The short-lived partnership came to an end before ultimately Hobbs turned heel and joined Team Taz. Hobbs recently spoke on Renee Paquette's podcast Oral Sessions and spoke of his friendship with Moxley and where they first met. According to Hobbs, the two sparked a relationship in WWE during Moxley's final heel run in the company, you know, the weird angle where Ambrose would wear gas masks and stuff. Hobbs revealed he was one of the extras for a Dean Ambrose promo during that era and said, "I did some extra work with Jon Moxley in WWE before. Do you remember when he had his entourage come out in the gas masks? Yeah, we talked about how hard it was to breathe. It's cool that he remembered me." Well, I guess Hobbs and Moxley forming a friendship means that not everything about that period of Moxley's WWE career was all bad. Over the past few months, I've actually learned about several AEW stars who did extra work in WWE that I didn't know about, and I'm not talking about the ones that everyone knows by this point, like MJF. So if you want to see me turn that into a list video, drop a like on this video and let me know in the comments down below. Next up, the Wrestling Observer previously reported that Rey Fenix was out due to an unknown injury, which caused him to miss the Double or Nothing pay-per-view last month. Fenix's last match was over a month ago on the April 26th edition of AEW Dark Elevation, defeating Chuck Taylor in singles competition. We now have an update regarding his status, and it is now said that he is dealing with a groin injury. It was initially reported that he would be out of action for 6 to 8 weeks, which means he could be back as early as within the next month. Hopefully we can see Fenix back on our screens soon, as he is one of the standout talents on the AEW roster. Last night, it was announced by Joe Garley of the NWA that former AEW wrestler Smiley Kylie Rae has signed with the promotion during the NWA When Our Shadows Fall pay-per-view. PW Insider is reporting that Kylie Rae was still under contract with Impact, even though last year, Rae announced her retirement from professional wrestling after missing the Bound for Glory pay-per-view in October. Over the past several weeks, the two promotions were able to come up with an agreement that was finalized 5 days ago, which opened the door for Rae to leave her contract in Impact. Kylie managed to win her debut match, teaming with Taryn Terrell to defeat Melina and Thunder Rosa. In the span of the last 2 years, Rae has signed for both Impact Wrestling and All Elite Wrestling before ultimately leaving due to personal issues. Hopefully this time we can see Kylie go on a lengthy run with her new employer, as she is extremely talented. Last night's New Japan Dominion show saw a brand new IWGP World Heavyweight Champion crowned after the belt was vacated by the injured Will Ospreay earlier this year. Former IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada battled Shingo Takagi in the main event of the show. Takagi managed to pull off what many consider an upset after pinning the Rainmaker following a Last of the Dragon, winning his first major title in the promotion. Shingo adds to his resume as a former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion, Never Openweight 6-Man Tag Team Champion, and a 2-time Never Openweight Champion. His first challenger was revealed as Kota Ibushi after he was called to the ring by the new champion and immediately accepted the challenge. The Golden Star was the first IWGP World Heavyweight Champion following the unification of both the heavyweight and intercontinental titles, and will challenge Takagi on a yet-to-be confirmed date. On Friday's episode of AEW Dynamite, it was confirmed that former world champion Jon Moxley will be taking a hiatus from competition as to welcome the arrival of his new unborn baby. Moxley, who is expecting a baby girl with his wife Renee Paquette, was last in action at Double or Nothing, where he was pinned in the tag team title match against the Young Bucks. My theory is that he was supposed to be written off with the explosion that ended AEW Revolution, but as we know, the spot didn't quite quite go to plan, and it wouldn't have been great writing off the toughest SOB on the roster with 4 sparklers. It's unknown how long Moxley will be out, but I honestly don't mind his absence. When he resurfaces, full crowds will be back, and the longer he's out, the bigger the pop when he inevitably returns. Moxley has just finished working on an autobiography titled Mox, chronicling his career path from the streets of Cincinnati all the way to the top of the wrestling business, and the book is set for release in November. And quickly before we continue, make sure you scroll down and hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming videos as we head towards 20,000 subscribers. But now you've done that, let's get on with the video. And speaking of Jon Moxley, on last night's GCW Zombie Walk show, a man dressed in all black invaded the ring following the GCW World title main event between the champion Nick Gage and Jimmy Lloyd. The man in disguise appeared to be Jon Moxley, as his mannerisms were very similar, but it was all a swerve. Gage has been feuding with Moxley in recent times, which added to the huge pop from the crowd, thinking they were about to see the former AEW champion grace them with his presence. The man in black dropped Moxley's foe with a paradigm shift before taking off his mask to reveal himself as no other than Matt Cardona, the former Zack Ryder. The angle received huge heat as Cardona threw up the middle finger to the crowd on his way out. This follows a month of call-outs by Gage on social media, constantly referring to Cardona as Zack Ryder, all of which were ignored. It seems that Gage eventually got under his skin, and the two are set for a match somewhere down the line. It's pretty cool to see this new side of Matt Cardona, who, as I've discussed in the past, has huge potential now that he is free from WWE's booking. The angle got an awesome reaction, and I look forward to seeing how his new adult-orientated persona develops over the coming months. And finally, the USF Police Department in Tampa is on the lookout for a man who performed a robbery at the WWE ThunderDome this past weekend. The USF PD Tampa's official Twitter account posted a number of photos of the suspect with the following messages. USF Police needs your help in identifying the individual listed in this alert. Anyone who has information on the identity of this individual or information on this case is asked to call USF Police. On the above date and time, the unidentified suspect pictured below removed several items from inside the Yuling Center belonging to the WWE. The suspect below is seen wearing a red shirt, blue jeans, and black sneakers. He appeared to be a him between the ages of 25 to 30 with brown hair, a mustache, and a light goatee. If information about the suspect is ascertained, please contact the USF Police Department. The robbery occurred at the Yuling Center, which is currently the home of all WWE main roster events until mid-July, until the ThunderDome ends and the fans return. It's currently unknown what was taken, or if this was the one remaining Retribution member that refused to sign a WWE contract. And before you go, why not check out my video where I discuss what's next for the WWE releases of June 2021, including Braun Strowman and Lana.